Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Faith, Lies, and Confusion. I am Godless Reggie, and this is NJ. How are you doing today, NJ?
I am fabulous today, Reggie. Absolutely fabulous. The weather has agreed with me. I've had enough cigarettes. Um, I'm being very well cared and tended for because, I'm lazy. I'm so lazy. Oh my goodness, so lazy. And, you know, calendars are calendars. Time is time.
That's what's up. I'm all right. Just dealing with a couple of personal issues, but other than that, I'll be fine. So today's topic is Sikhism. This is a religion that I heard of maybe about 10 or 12 years ago. I have a friend that is from India, and he was telling me that he was Sikh. So before he was explaining to me that he was Sikh, hey, what's up, man? Sikh. Um, I had assumed that he was Hindu because he was from India. That was ignorance on me. I thought that everyone from that region was the same religion. Um, it's not true. And actually, Sikhism is the fifth largest religion in the world as we know it today. So, what you know about Sikhism?
Um, what you told me just now, that's what I know. That's what I know. And fifth largest sounds like they got banks. Have their banks been audited? How's the interest rates in their banks? Because Corporation of America is always looking for a low interest bank.
I'm not sure about the bank situation because I haven't really divulged too much into it. But my guess of the situation, the reason why it's the world's fifth largest religion, is because of its location, right? Because it's in India and there's a lot of people in India. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. I'm going to guess the order: Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. Yes, it may not be in that exact order, but I can promise you it's like that. Now, you might have no. Judaism is not bigger than Buddhism. So yeah, I think that's the right order. I think that's the right order. That's just me guessing. You think I'm right?
Uh, Not only do I think you're right, I think you're gonna hit all five on the head. But like you said, that fourth one might be a little off. But I think you're right.
Especially if Sikhism is fifth. But we're gonna figure it out. So I'm gonna do a little bit of research on it. I like to use a couple of different sources. Google, Wikipedia, and ChatGPT is my favorite one. My new favorite one. So let's read a little bit about it. Hasn't always been because I haven't always been aware of it. I'm also not indicating that it's going to be 100% accurate because I have seen things on ChatGPT that weren't 100% true, but they weren't false. So let's read a little bit about it.
Right. And on that note, before you get too far into this, I'm gonna just say, Chat GPT uh, tried to put God in a story that I'm working on. Now, if I don't believe in God, why would I be writing a story about God? I don't know how it came to that conclusion, and I'm still in my feelings about it. I've been going back through the first six chapters, like, oh no, where did I go wrong? I need to program this better.
You know what? My opinion of ChatGPT is that it tries to be as honest as it possibly can, but it also simultaneously makes sure that it's politically correct. It does everything it can do to not offend anybody, even if that means that it would withhold the truth. Like I was on somebody's live the other day, and I also seen on somebody else's video them using that same form of chat GPT with the same exact voice. When you ask them questions, it's just vague as fuck. Like to the point, it's annoying. But that's just my opinion.
Right? It took me a whole year to get it to use cuss words where I use cuss words in the story. It kept trying to get me to redirect, rephrase, remonologue, and I couldn't figure out why. I was like, no, I know what I want. Put it there.
Right. And that's crazy that you would bring up, using profanity, because on the live that I was on, I think you might have been there too, but they were attempting to get Chat GPT to swear, and no matter what, it wouldn't. Even though the person was telling them, like, look, I'm in control of you, it just was like, oh no, there's no need for it. But before I get too far off track, let me read a little bit about this religion. So Sikhism is a monotheistic religion that originated in the Punjab region of South Asia, now divided between India and Pakistan, in the late 15th century. It was founded by Guru Nanak Dev Ji and developed through the teachings of 10 successive gurus. Here's a concise overview of the key elements of Sikhism. The core beliefs consist of one God. Sikhs believe in a single, formless, eternal God who is beyond human understanding, but can be experienced through devotion and meditation. Equality. All human beings are equal regardless of caste, creed, gender, or religion. Service, helping others selflessly, is a central tenet of the faith. Honest living. Earning a living through honest means and hard work. Remembering God. Constant remembrance of God through meditation and prayer. Sharing. The Van Shakna. Share what you have with others, especially those in need. Okay, so I'll stop right there. I think a lot of these values I've heard of before in Christianity. The more I read about religions from this region, I understand. Even though it's not true, I do understand when Christians say things like, "Okay, well, they all trace back to the Bible." Now, in this case, it might somewhat, only because this religion was created in the 15th century. So maybe, the influence of Christianity was there. I know that the British had invaded by that point. So that might have some truth when it comes to this particular religion. How do you feel? You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Uh, you said that was what year in. You said
In
that
the
was what
15th
year?
century,
No, but you
the
gave a
religion was
specific
created in the
year
15th century. All right, let me look back.
because according to their calendar that would have been used when when the fifth guru started, their calendar was 1604 CE according to the Gregorian calendar. If you take their calendar that they were on at the time, it's actually 1604 CE to the Gregorian calendar.
Okay, so what it says right here is Sikhism is a monotheistic religion that originated in the Punjab region of South Asia, blah, blah, blah. In the late 15th century, it was founded by blah, blah, blah between 1469 and 1539 and developed through the teachings of 10 successive gurus.
And so what I'm saying is we are about to give the whitewashed version as best we can understand it from the whitewashed information given. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And to correct something that I said earlier, when I said that the British probably had invaded at that point, in critical thinking, if Christopher Columbus came over here in 1492 and thought he was in India, clearly they had already had some knowledge of people from India or people with that same similar skin tone as he described in his writings. So yes, it definitely had been invaded by Britain at that point. Now, how the fuck they got to India, I don't know, but I'm gonna look it up eventually.
We're gonna find out by the end. We're gonna find out by the end.
Oh, for sure, because I'm curious to know, like, did you take boat from the UK to get there? Did you go through the river? Did you walk? How the fuck did you get to India? Because if you went all the way around Africa, well, damn, that's one serious trip right there.
Nah,
Not saying he can't
probably
be done.
took a passage with a trader. The whole idea of armies and patrols and police and paying taxes to kings and emperors was for your trade routes to be safe for your wares so they didn't get stolen and sold out from under you. And if you were traveling, you would find a caravan of trades going to that area and ask, "Can I tag along?"
Yeah, but it would have had to been a significant amount of tagging. I'm thinking maybe this thing. Maybe they went through the Mediterranean Sea. Maybe they cut through Egypt. Maybe and maybe went through what's the name of that? Well, the Suez Canal wouldn't have been there, but maybe they walked through that strip of land, got right back into wherever that area is called, that body of water, and then went around because that is one hell of a ride from fucking
Now,
UK.
one day when I was reading great Egyptian fables, within this fable was a style of barge, specifically a barge that could be lifted or rolled by the rowers across small bodies of land. Let's say where there's just a strip of land between one sea and another sea, and reinsert it into the water and go again about your merry way. I'm just saying it was something I read in a book one time. That's all. That's the only reason I mentioned it.
There's got to be some kind of explanation for this shit. But before I get you, before I down that rabbit hole, I'm gonna read a little bit more, and I'm gonna play a short to have someone else that is more equipped to explain this religion because it's basically new to me. So the core beliefs: one God, Sikhs believe in a single, formless, eternal God who is beyond human understanding but can be experienced through. Okay, I read that part. The scripture, Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the central religious scripture, and the eternal Guru of the Sikhs, consisting of hymns and teachings from Sikh gurus and other saints. Now, next is the 10 gurus. I'm not going to try to stumble through all of those because those are not words that I can pronounce properly. So just know that there's 10 of them. The Khalsa, a spiritual brotherhood founded by Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Initiated Sikhs follow the 5 Ks: Kesh, Kanga, Kara, Kachera, and Kirpan, which follow as uncut hair, wooden comb, steel bracket, cotton undergarments, and small ceremonial sport. I'm gonna stop right there reading that because that reminds me of something else that I was just recently about, maybe yesterday or the day before. I was actually speaking with the person that is literally a colonizer. That's the best word I can use to describe him, and the reason why I'm saying that is because he goes to other countries, pushing his message and trying to convert them to Mormonism. Um, and I was picking at him because I don't know if anybody understands the Mormon religion, but they wear these magical underwear, and they think that it gives them special powers, like to save their life and them from doing immoral things and things like that. So
It
that
does
reminds
save
me
your
of that.
life. It has no entry for the jinn. The jinn can't get you in Mormonism, not with your special underwear on.
Oh, man. But they also be soaking. So obviously that underwear don't do nothing. If you know what that, you know what soaking is.
No, I have no
Okay,
idea.
so this is what soaking is. I'm gonna tell you. So it kind of is self-explanatory, but the difference is, it's like, so you would actually put it in, but once it's in, You don't do nothing. But they got a way around that too. So what they would do, some of them is have like their friends come around and jump on the bed.
What? Wait a minute. 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 You know what? I did not need that mental image today, but now that I have it, I'm going to run with it all day. My TikTok is about to light up. Oh my goodness. I'm going to run with that all day. I'm soaking in the ambiance. 10 little monkeys was jumping on the
It's a way.
bed. One fell off and
It's a
oops, you're pregnant.
it's a way of tricking God because you know he can't say that you actually did the act because you were just laying there.
You know, something tells me that that is not a mutually achieved at the end of that
Oh
soaking.
because I spoke on that too. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you this from a male perspective, right? If it's the man's first time doing it, just that. Oh, that's good enough. That's good. Oh, you mean tell me I get one strong pump, or I get the job is done. The job is done. Listen, I'm telling you, and the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying to you, if I'm confusing anybody about what I'm saying right now, any dude that's a virgin, any dude that is a virgin, if he lasts 5 pumps, he's the greatest of all time. Of all time. Of all time. Especially if you're talking about without a condom. You dead. 2 pumps, as soon as you feel I mean, complete, it's gone. Done.
I've heard a lot of stories, and I've been there for a couple of them, and I had it. Nope, 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 nope. Now, someone made the claim once, and said that that is how they were able to make it past 5 pumps. But it was later discovered that that too was a lie. That was a lie. That was a lie. That was a lie.
So once you feel that sensation for that first time, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. You dead. You dead. Right then and there. So again, so to your point about there's no mutual whatever verbiage you said, absolutely not.
Right,
Absolutely
right. Because
not.
I can't
Whatever the
imagine the person. I can't imagine the person doing the soaking finding any kind of gratification in the jumping on the bed, the uh, the insertion process, uh, nor the ending. I can't. I can't. My imagination is pretty good, and it can't get there. It nope, nope. I don't see it working. Nope.
That's impossible. I mean, not impossible, but
No, it's
you got a
impossible.
better. You
Stop
got
trying to do that Christian logic. It's not impossible. It's impossible.
listen. You got about the chance that you got to hit the Powerball. Now, I could hit that motherfucker. Am I going to do it? It's not going to happen. No, it's not. It's not. But there is always one out of every 2 billion. Right?
Nope. Nope.
So moving along. Let me get back to the rest of this religion that we were discussing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Right,
so
right, right, right.
their places of worship are the Gurdwara, sacred place of worship, the Golden Temple, and our Amritsar is the most sacred Wara. Sikhism today, there is approximately 25 to 35 million Sikhs worldwide. Sikhism is the fifth largest religion. Sikhism is the fifth largest organized religion globally. Most Sikhs live in Punjab, India, but there are significant communities in the UK, Canada, and United States and other countries. I'll stop reading that. That's actually done. So far, it really hasn't told us a whole lot besides the fact that where it's from, who practices it. It gives us some of their core principles, but to me, it just sounds like blah 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 blah
blah blah blah blah blah. I'm hearing what's that Charlie Brown? Every adult in Charlie Brown that goes wah 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 wah. That's what I hear with all religions now.
Yeah.
All
Once
of
you
them.
realize the gig is up, it's just bullshit. You're gonna see bullshit a mile away. It's actually almost disheartening. I wish I could see it, from a religious point of view. It would be almost
I would
magical
love
to see.
to. Right. I want them to get one of these gods to be real, pay their back daddy support, so I can sit back in my hammock, chilling. Tobacco products delivered, broccoli delivered. No matter where I'm going, I can sit there and dream of, you know what? I want to go see that for myself. Somebody start the travel arrangements. Let me know when I leave. Call the bestie and be like, hey, I need a bag packed for 2 weeks. Can you handle that for me? You know, these are the little things in life, just the little things.
Agreed. I do sometimes wish that I was religious still, but it's just like I can't play stupid. I, I can't. I can't play stupid. And we talking to these people, especially when we have debates with them, I don't see how they can. They're like, "Oh, it's belief." No, I've never mastered the act of being phony. Like, if I don't like it or something like that, I can't hide it from. I can't. The best thing I can do is just not say nothing because the second my mouth opens, it's going to give it away, right? So with that, I can't because it's not true, and I know it's not true, right? And it's just like they just make up all this shit, and it's just like, oh, well, through God, it's all possible. You don't know that. You've never seen him do these things that they're claiming happen. All you can say is the Bible says, the Bible says, the Bible says, the Bible says, the Bible says. I got into a debate with a fool today on goddamn TikTok, right? This man told me the Bible says only a fool says in their heart that there is no God. Only a fool thinks that you can say anything with your fucking heart. How the fuck do you
Right. I
put
was
that
like,
there? How do
I
you
was like, what the heart
do you
got to
just
do with
eradicate the
conversation?
word? What the fuck? Right?
What
A fool. I said only a fool
Reggie
thinks that you can speak to your heart.
Reggie, is it my mouth speaking to you or is it my heart? Is it my mouth doing the speaking or is it my heart? It's my mouth, right?
It's your mouth. It's your mouth.
Right.
Right.
And if
It's
I'm
nothing
deaf and I
past
know
here.
sign,
It's here.
right. And if I'm deaf and I speak sign language or whatever, it's still not coming from here. It's my hands.
Right. And to me, that's the proof that the shit is bullshit. You mean to tell me that the person that created this ain't smart enough to know that that's not what your motherfucking heart is? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And then they be like, oh, well, that's not what he meant. How am I supposed to know this shit? How am I supposed to know what this motherfucker meant? I ain't never met him before. You just telling me what he said and like you met him, like he told you. Yeah, just telling God. I just was saying his emotions. Fuck.
Yeah. The
It's
only
craziness.
thing I
But
have to
now
do.
that's with my non-Vermont.
That is me with that back.
Trying to get your headphones together. So I'm gonna play this video real fast. This is a very, very, very short video.
Religious groups were targeted in America, including Sikhs. But studies show most Americans don't actually know what Sikhs stand for. Take a look.
Members of the famous religion stand out in America, as Sikhs are, we believe, and studies show up to 70% of Americans won't be able to answer.
On the one hand, we're hyper visible with our unique identity, our turbans, our beard. People don't notice in an airport or an airplane. Like, we're noticeable. And at the same time, no idea.
September 11th tragedies. Deb Bhatia is with the nonprofit Sikhs of St. Louis.
Whenever I have to explain to anyone who I am, what's my identity, I always tell them Sikhs for years.
Originating in 15th century India, Sikhism was established during a time where super social enlightenment. Sikhism's founder, Guru Nanak, was born into a Hindu family, but he wanted to establish a faith that considered all people, regardless of caste or gender.
A human race as one race.
Early in its history, Sikhs had to defend their faith against the Mughal Empire and tyrannical leaders who persecuted religious minority groups. That's why Sikhism's 10th guru or teacher officially made the turban a symbol of the faith.
Only Sikhs basically wear turbans.
Vic and Pav Saluja are Sikhs living in Chesterfield, Missouri. They explain other Middle Eastern Sikhs' turban is unique.
When they were in war and they could not identify who were the Hindus or the Muslims that they were fighting against. If anyone sees a man with the turban, they'll know that that's the person that you need to go to for protection.
Nothing has changed after so many years. You see a Sikh standing, have to help me. That's as we were gifted by the God.
Not all Sikhs wear turbans. Some people cut their hair for personal reasons, but we do all wear these metal bracelets called garak. Sikhs have been in America since the 1890s. So why do few people know us?
In our religious tradition, we don't have a history of proselytizing.
Unfortunately, when we do see Sikhs in the media, it's often in the while Sikhs peacefully practice their religion, you can also find them feeding the hungry and giving back to the communities they live in.
When we serve meals, we don't see color.
Teachings of the Sikh faith.
There's something really profound in this simple teaching that divinity is equally present in every single one of us.
And in all Sikhs, a responsibility.
Goodness in everyone. and in the world around you, then even in the most difficult moments, it becomes possible and silver linings. And
You can like API special Asian.
So, from me watching that video, it just opened my eyes to something. Most people that I have presumed to be Hindu are secular.
Right. What I got out of that is, what state was that they had settled in here in the United States? Missouri?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not.
Missouri or Minnesota, one of them ends. Doesn't matter. But what I found interesting was, how do you have all of these special factors about one God and peace and all of that, yet you are known for your prowess at war? Uh, Truth is higher than everything, but higher still is truthful living. The focus is on inner discipline, mental purity, and radical empathy. How come slave revolts aren't made with such pretty words? Why are those always worded not so prettily? Let me keep going. Rituals are rejected unless they're rooted in truthful action. No hollow justice, no caste, as in, CASTE, that kind of caste system. No caste coded compliance. Warrior legacy. Guru Gobind Sinai Khalsa wasn't born from conquest. It was a ceremonial uprising against tyranny. That's not what they say here in the Americas about slave revolts. And whatever state they in, when the Civil War comes, that so many are looking forward to, whose side they gonna be on with those with the weapon, the kirpan. The kirpan isn't just a weapon; it's a symbol of justice, readiness to protect the oppressed, and ethical action. I think they really wanted to write ethical cleansing, but I don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure.
That's a great question. A very great question. I would hope that it would be on our side, but you never know. I don't want to be stereotypical and take it cute and say that that's law and all of them, things like that. But we have seen a few on TV. But I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair because there's a lot of people that we see on TV that look like us that be saying some bullshit too. So I'm not gonna do that. I have heard
But
that
you know me,
India is the most racist
right,
country
I
on earth.
like being a little on the fringe with the questions, cause I don't want to repeat what everybody else repeated on the mic. I want to ask questions. I want to know things like, if Sikh warriors fought not for conquest, but to defend dignity, equality, and freedom of belief. I'm just saying it's starting to take on some cult like qualities that we've noted in other religions.
True. I would say this. What's strange to me is they're claiming that, regardless of caste, it would appear to me that they would be significantly darker. Maybe that's just me. Um, the friend of mine that I know is a Sikh. He is the same skin tone as the people that they were just showing, but he does consider himself black. And both his parents, he's from India. Both his parents are from India too. But he's not not the dark skin. He's a little lighter than me, but not in a black person kind of way. If you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But he's not the dark skin kind because some of them are, as some of them. And most times, they're at the bottom of the caste, and they are Dalits, as they call them.
Yes,
So,
yes. And they always hope and dream and pray of producing that one child in the family that can pass the test of the brown paper bag and change their plight and caste.
facts. That's very true. That's very true. Um, Black Americans, we always talk about racism against us, and it's justified. But when you go to other places, you see similar behavior. I just became aware of some of the racism that happens in Mexico, which is different, right? So the real people from that region are Dartian, and they're closer um, related to the Guatemalans in the way that they look, the rural people from that. You have to take in context that they have been colonized. They have a lot of Spanish lives. So down there, what they do is they have almost a caste system, and they're racism against darker skinned 100% Mexicans and Guatemalans. And I never knew that until recently. So you see the same thing anywhere you go in the world where colonial powers, Britain, Spain, France, Italy, anywhere, any of them countries. Well, not Italy, because I would say Italy would be more of a revenge situation, Spain too. But regardless, the colonial powers that we see of today and of that time, their whole logic was you black and you motherfucking ugly. And the closer you can get to them, the better off you were and the more attractive that you would be in their eyes. And still to this day. And it's something that's programmed into us, all of us, even Black America, it's programmed into us. And until you recognize that, you'll do it. I used to do it. I used to think like that because I was programmed to fucking think like that. But I didn't realize that's what had happened. You know, when a person treats you like they pet for hundreds of years, you start to believe this shit. And that's why you have coons. Because those are people that just act like former slaves to this day. They say the same shit that the slaves used to say. The same shit, except for Master. That's the only fucking thing they say.
I'm valuable to the plantation. Massa would never sell me, let me go. Massa will do whatever I ask of them, even the missus, because I am so loved and valuable to the plantation. And on that note, let's have a commercial break done by my favorite character, Raven, that you will find often on my TikTok accounts, either Clock Breakers or Echo Signal 88. Raven, if your technology needs a leap year to remember your GERPERPs, I probably pronounced that incorrectly. Maybe it's time to upgrade your timestamp. Echo Signal 88 isn't just a drop, it's a glitch in the grid. Caption spells, rag filters, Bagot archetypes, all encrypted into your ceremonial. Look, I can't speak today. I'm not good at reading. Can you tell? Even when it's my own thoughts that I'm reading. Ceremonial overlays. Trust isn't a doctrine, it's a remixable frequency. So if your Kirkpins just cosplay and your calendars still colonial, maybe it's time to ritualize your sovereignty. Echo Signal 88, where sound becomes scripture and captions become spells. That's it.
Thank you, Jay. So far, what I take from everything that I spoke about and what we listened to, it doesn't sound too bad. I would say last week, once I started reading and listening to, how the religion went, I really just didn't like it. what I would say so far, pretty much they're saying a decent doctrine. They're kind of pushing peace, but to your point, you can't be a peaceful fucking warrior. There's no such thing. That's just like nowadays when they have
What I
they call them
found
the peace officers, the peace soldiers, or whatever the fuck they call them. How you going with guns for?
what I found interesting was uh, their contribution to the music world. They have a huge contribution to the music world. That's what I found interesting. Do you know how many movie scores that are award winning that is attributed to their community and this particular religion? Did you know?
You know what? No, absolutely not. But you know what? What I do know is something I said a little bit ago. I realize now every person I've ever thought in my life was Hindu is fucking sick. Every fucking last one. And the reason why I know that is because of that hijab thing they got on their fucking head. That's the only one I've ever seen. The other ones I don't see. So I know that every Indian person basically I've ever met in my life that's what the fuck that is. So now that I've been saying that and you're saying that, sounds right.
And the only reason I ever was able to tell them apart was after a very tragic event that happened in September of a certain year here in the Americas that we promised to never forget. It would seem that the new emergency forces that were begun by Bush after that event had a lot of people, and I do mean any people with a turban on their head getting picked up. Everybody and anybody. And that's when
Right.
I learned that there was a difference that had to be known and established.
To your point, when I was significantly younger, like maybe 17, 18, I did not know the difference between um, Arabs and Indians because they have a similar skin tone, right? But probably since around that time, a little bit after that, I've been, well, most of my life, I put it like this. Most of my life, I've been able to tell the difference between Arabs and Indians. And the way I can tell the difference is because the way they sound, right? Every person from India, no matter what their religion is, they know fucking English. And the reason why is because India is the biggest English speaking country in the world, right? So people from India and Pakistan, they have a particular accent. People that are Arabs do not sound anything like that. To put it in simple terms, people from India sound okay. The character that they have on the Simpsons, the guy with the store, the Quickie Mart guy, they sound similar to that. Their accent sounds similar to that. People that are Arabs Arabs, Arabians, do not sound anything like that at all. And that's the biggest difference, in my opinion. But because they're from very similar regions, on top of the fact that some people from India are Muslims as well, it can get a little bit confusing. But to me, everybody from India has a particular accent, no different than if you talk to somebody that's not from the United States, they're going to say that we all sound similar. Now, to us, we don't sound similar because people from New Orleans to me sound completely different. People from California sound completely different. People from down south sound completely different. But that's to me because I live here. People from other countries don't think that. Even so much to the point where I don't really think that most people that are not from the United States or from North America can even tell the difference between a Canadian and an American accent. And to prove what I'm saying, there's no way that you can actually tell that Drake is Canadian if you're not from the United States or Canada. There's no way that you can fucking see that. There's no way that you can hear that. It is cheating a little bit because he actually is American and Canadian because his father's American. But you still can't fundamentally tell the difference. But that's from the outside looking in. So I'm gonna cut on another video. Thanks to everybody for stopping by on Instagram. I see you, all the people that are watching. What's up, Matt? So I'm gonna give another perspective on Sikhism. And again, I have learned something because again, most of the people that I assumed were Hindus or Buddhists, come to find out, they're Sikhs.
I'm Andrew Henry.
And I'm Simranjeet Singh. And today we're discussing Sikhism, or by its more accurate name, which I prefer, Sikhi.
Now, there are 27 million Sikhs worldwide. Most live in India, but there are significant populations in the United Kingdom and in the United States. However, many people don't know all that much about Sikhs. They're sometimes mistaken to be Muslims or Hindus, and some even misconstrue the religion as a mixture of these two religions. But Sikhi is its own unique religion with its own sacred texts, founder, and identity.
Now, we can't cover the entire religion in just 10 minutes. So today we're going to focus on its core beliefs and practices, which help illustrate the path to northern India. It was here in 1469 that the founder of Sikhi, Guru Nanak, was born. And his lifetime coincided with the establishment of the Mughal Empire, a Muslim-led dynasty that ruled much of South Asia from the 16th to the 19th centuries. The early years of Sikhi are therefore shaped by growing in a religious with Muslims.
According to Sikh, Guru Nanak had a mystical experience around the age of 30. While bathing in a local river, he suddenly disappeared. And even though his friend thought he had drowned, he emerged from the river 3 days later, telling of an encounter he had with God. This experience set him on the path to become the first guru of the Sikhs. And he traveled far and wide, sharing this new understanding of God, which is embodied in the Mul Mantar, a short hymn composed by the Guru himself. There is one God, the identity of truth, creator of all things and the all-pervading spirit, fearless. And without hatred, timeless and formless, beyond birth and death, self-created, known by the grace of the Guru. Sikhs recite this on a daily basis, and in a way, this prayer summarizes basic Sikh theology, that there is one God, the creator of the universe, who is sometimes called Akal Murat, the eternal being. According to Guru Nanak, God is so limitless that humans are like fish trying to comprehend the ocean.
Now, the word Guru literally means enlightener, and in the Sikh tradition, this title is reserved for Guru Nanak and his 9 successors. The 10 Sikh Gurus are credited with fostering and cultivating the Sikh community from its establishment in the 15th century to the death of Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th Sikh Guru, in 1708. Before his death, Guru Gobind Singh passed on the title of Guruship to 2 authorities for Sikhs to follow, Guru Granth Sahib and the Guru Khalsa Panth, the community of formally initiated Sikhs. The Guru Granth Sahib is a collection of hymns and poetry compiled by the Sikh Gurus themselves. The Sikh scripture is unique in that it doesn't contain narratives. It's all music and poetry. The Guru Granth Sahib also differs from other religious texts in that it includes the writings of other religious figures, such as Muslims and Hindus. Because of these reasons, it's not really accurate to call the Guru Granth Sahib the Sikh Bible or the Sikh Quran. Yes, it is a collection of different for Sikhs in that it is seen as the repository of the Guru's wisdom and as the eternal Guru for the Sikh community.
This leads us to the topic of religious practice. Remember, religions are not just a collection of beliefs and include. Take the example of the Guru Granth Sahib. Because it's considered to be the Guru, Sikhs show special reverence to the book itself. The scripture is stored on raised platforms. Houses represent a throne of authority. When reading from it, waves a ritual fan, which represents how loyalty in the past. None of this is done to worship the book, but to show the respect that it deserves as Guru. This is why Sikh houses of worship are called Gurdwaras, which is a Punjabi word meaning door to the Guru, because it's here that Sikh communities gather and access the Guru together. The most prominent Gurdwara is Darbar Sahib in Amritsar, Punjab. You can find Gurdwaras all over the world, serving as centers for traditional worship and a variety of life cycle rituals, such as baby naming, marriage.
In the Sikh tradition, because undergoing this ritual means becoming Amritdhari. Now, what does that mean? Well, remember that Guru Gobind Singh before his death, instituted two authorities to help shepherd the community going forward: the Guru Granth Sahib, the collection of scriptures, and the Guru Khalsa Panth, the community of initiated Sikhs who have committed their lives to living the ideals of Sikhi.
The tradition goes that in 1690, asked for volunteers to sacrifice his head. One by one, 5 Sikh men came forward, going into the tent only for Guru Gobind Singh to emerge each time with a bloody sword. However, after all of this, the Guru then emerged with all 5 men completely unharmed.
Some traditions say that Guru Gobind Singh secretly hid 5 goats in his tent and slaughtered them instead of the men. And other traditions say that these 5 men survived miraculously. Nevertheless, because of their bravery and devotion, these 5 individuals, as a collection.
I just wanted to stop at the call bullshit real quick.
And which part would you like to call bullshit? Which particular part?
When we came out with the bloody sword each time, and then when he just said about the goats and shit, so I gotta call bullshit on that.
What did he say about the goats that's bullshit? What did he say about the goats that's bullshit? Be very specific.
It's not. Okay, so this is what he said about the goats. He said some claim that what happened was he was going in the back stabbing goats instead of the people, because what they're saying is that 5 people went in like a tent with him. Each one, he came out with a bloody sword. But then after it was all said and done, they all came out unharmed. So the legend is also saying that some believe that what the guy was doing was in the back was stabbing goats real quick and just was playing like some fucking miracle happened. And I'm calling bullshit. I believe that part is true. But the rest of it, ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Looking something up right now.
Oh, no, nothing to say. I just did
Guru
my
Gobind
own
Singh gave both
technical
men
difficulty.
and women new royal names that subverted caste and gender distinctions. Women would.
You saying something, Jay?
No, I was just saying I just had my own technical difficulties. Evidently, you are sending your bad internet connection over here. Why are you sending your internet connection over here? What I do to you? I thought we was friends.
You sending your shit here? Don't blame it on me. Y'all see that? See how she trying to pass the buck? That's how she fuck it up.
Hey, I am American raised. One thing we love to do is pass the buck. You just as good as another person. I wish they would pass me some real dollars, though. Can they pass it through my Cash App? I need a dollar. Dollar is what I need. Hey.
No fucking one.
Carry their own lineage, the last name Kaur, and men with the last name Singh. And he initiated the 5 men by giving them Amrit, a nectar substance that was made of water and sugar mixed with a double-edged sword while singing from the Sikh scripture. To this day, in Gurdwaras all over the world, Sikhs continue to administer initiation based on this first edition in 1699. The ceremony is led by 5 Sikhs, representing the 5 original members of the Khalsa. They take turns stirring an iron bowl of Amrit while reciting prayers. The initiates come forward and are sprinkled with the Amrit on their hair and eyes. Amrit Sanchars, Christian baptism and Amrit Sanchar do both incorporate water, but for a Sikh, accepting initiation means committing to living a life according to the Guru's teachings. This includes some ethical precepts and disciplinary protocols, the most easily noticeable being the commitment to maintaining 5 articles, which have come to be known to English speakers as the 5 Ks because they each begin with a K. They are case, uncut hair, wearing a small comb called the kanga, a steel bracelet called a kata, a small knife called the kirpan, and shorts called kachera.
Some scholars have interpreted the 5 Ks through a historical lens, rooting them in the context of 17th and 18th century Punjabi military garb. For example, some scholars have said that the kara is there to protect the wearer's sword arm, symbolically. So for not enough. Always stand for justice and against oppression. Guru Gobind did not fight our critics, and we are speculative. What we can say definitively, though, is that for Sikhs, these 5Ks have a deeply personal connection. Perhaps the closest analogy we can get.
I'm gonna stop it right there because I have something to say about can we define what a wedding ring means in one sentence? Right? I can define it in one fucking word. Soul. That's what I mean.
Right. Right. And the more expensive the sold symbol, the better. It means you married well.
Right.
If you can't upgrade me from the one on my finger, please do not apply. Don't even try.
Exactly. People make
That's
things
why they
more difficult than what the fuck they gotta be.
That's why they romanticize the plain, simple gold band. It's the junk of the metals, and there's no indication of whether or not you can do better or not than whoever put the ring on the finger. So basically, it was saying like, "Go ahead, shoot your shot. She's going to turn you down accordingly." You know what I mean?
Right. Or beware. Or stay away. Something like that. It all means the same thing. It means don't fuck with this. This belongs to me.
Property.
And the proof of this is branded. Boom.
Right. See, and the beautiful thing about rings and bracelets, necklaces, earrings, all removable if you wish to upgrade or downgrade your goods. Branding with a hot iron or lashing with whips to mark your property, that's for life. That's for life. You can't just, like rebrand them like, oh, cross that brand out because now you belong to you know what? I just remembered the slave trade. I take that back. I stand corrected.
It's branded. Exactly. Like I used to think that, okay, well, it would make more sense if people really want to get married if she could attach a little ring on their finger. Because that's forever, right? But then now that I think about it, now that from the outside looking in again, ain't nothing but branding, a slave, trademark. That's all the fuck it is. That's a damn
It's all
thing.
about the branding. Branding. It's all about the branding. And then can you market the branding after you have done the branding? Do you market it before you branded it, or do you brand it before you market it? Which one is it?
What's that fucking? It's a rapper. His family is actually from Warren, Ohio, but his name is Blue something. Something Blue. He got this girlfriend, something with his face on it. Or his baby.
Oh no.
Matter of fact, I posted a video of her at church about a week ago. I can real ratchet at church hurt. That's what I'm talking about. But baby, it's something like that. He's in prison right now. But
You might be thinking of Young Blue, but he's actually from Mobile, Alabama. Kid Cudi, Triple Red, Bow Wow, Tyler Joseph.
No. Don't look in Ohio. Don't look in Ohio. I just was saying that his family is from Ohio. He's not. He's from LA. He's a gangbanger.
But his name is Blue something. His rap name is Blue something.
Yeah, it's something blue. Yeah, it's something fucking blue. He's in prison right now for some dumb shit. But yeah, his baby mom went and got a whole tooth for him.
What?
But yeah. She went to the extreme.
She went where?
Definitely to the extreme. to the extreme. Because when you don't look at her closely when she's talking, it makes it look like she's just missing the toothbrush. So she looks crazy.
Blueface, Jonathan Jamal Porter. Blueface. That name I know. Tatiana. Oh, I remember Tatiana because my son was actually explaining to me what thought meant while I stood in line to buy something out of Rue 21. Now, mind you, I was way past 21. I was way past 41. But I still like Rue 21. Couldn't tell me nothing. So anyway, the point is this. He explained it to me. And once he explained it to me, me and the other ladies in line who did not know it until he explained it to us, started dancing and singing along to the song. And since the line was so long, we got in several choruses before we were distracted. To my son's dismay, what he did was he took all my packages out of my hand and kindly walked them out of the store for me and waited for me to finish my purchase, song singing, and dance learning until I came out of the store. It was such a sweet moment. You had to be there to really get it and understand it. But yes, it was all over that song, Tatiana. Facts on facts.
Song describes his baby mama. That's another story. But I'm gonna play the last little bit of this video and let them finish describing this religion, and then probably gonna get out of here.
Different things to different people. Generally, Sikhs would agree that these 5 articles of faith are more than just symbols. They represent a deep personal connection between themselves and their guru.
This leads us to an important reminder. Whenever you study any religion, religions are internally diverse. They're not monolithic. A lot of what we said up until now are generalizations about Sikh belief and practice, but just like members of any other religion, Sikhs differ widely on their interpretation of their beliefs and observe their practices differently.
For example, not all Sikhs maintain the 5 Ks. There are many Sikhs who cut their hair or shave or don't wear turbans at all, and this is many less Sikh. The term Sahajvadi is often used to describe those who self-identify as Sikh, but don't maintain the visible Sikh identity.
Moreover, within the Khalsa itself, there's a variety of groups who differ on aspects of what it means to be Sikh. Some who interpret the 5 Ks differently, others, such as the Nanaksar movement, claim that Guru Nanak appeared to their leader in the early 20th century. We don't have time to go through each group individually, but it's important to remember the internal form a one-dimensional opinion of the religion.
While Sikhs are an internally diverse community, there are some experiences that they share collectively. One example of it.
What would you say to somebody that hasn't?
One example of a shared experience is that of racism and prejudice in modern America. Studies show that most Americans do not know who Sikhs are, and that Sikhs are experiencing increasing discrimination because of their unique religious identity. Anti-Sikh discrimination takes various forms, from workplace discrimination and racial profiling to school bullying. The first casualty of a hate crime after 9/11 was Balbir Singh Sodhi, a Sikh American in Mesa, Arizona. Is perceived to be Muslim based on how they look. In 2012,
what you saying, Jay?
I said, I really wish this person would stop trying to make it sound like it's religious persecution. It is not. It is fear of the 9 and the 11. That is the only thing. It's not religious persecution. And second of all, I have a funny feeling that those that those 5 orders of faith has more to do with the fact that there were 5 writers of this whole religion. It started with one writer, but it wasn't finished until the 5th writer. Something tells me that each writer of the religion decided to add something, a ring, a bracelet, or something, or something, or something, or something. But that's just my personal opinion.
Some would interpret that as a religious persecution, but to your point, it's really not about religion. It's more like you're from a particular region, and like I was stating earlier, um, to most Americans, people that are from India and Arabs, they look the same, right? So it's more of that because they don't know that you're safe. So you can't really say it's religious persecution because you don't know them, right? So they just know that you ain't from here. Um, it's closer. It's racist. It's what it is. It's racist.
Okay, I will take racism over religious persecution. I will gladly take racism over religious persecution, but it is not persecution of their religion.
It can't be. It can't be religious persecution because again, we're unaware of that until I cut this, started this live. I didn't even know that these people that we were seeing, I would have assumed that they. I have to know what religion you are to be against it or to be biased. So I don't know it. I can't.
And I know I don't. Like I said,
This is a.
I like until you brought this up to me, I thought I didn't know it. But upon listening, I was like, "Oh, I remember this. I do know of this religion. I now remember why I read about it, why I learned about it." And but when you first came to me, I was drawing a blank. I had no clue.
Also, because I'm saying it incorrectly as well.
Well, I say everything incorrectly
So
because I'm American. I only know the Webster's dictionary, and my phonics is based on the Webster dictionary characters and the way that they were taught to me by the colonizers so that I could get the proper grades to move along in the No Child Left Behind before No Child Left Behind, where you could actually be a child left behind. I only know that because I was left behind several times. I got left behind in the second
again,
grade. I got left behind.
but you know what? Though I'm gonna be honest with you. The religion to me overall is refreshing because you know what my brain is screaming at me right now. Bro, the reason why you don't know anything about this religion and the reason why you've been confused all these fucking years is because these people mind their motherfucking business.
What?
They ain't bothering nobody.
Exactly.
That's what my brain is telling me.
Yes. And you know why the IRS wants to know about them? Because they want to know, wait a minute, you are a large population. Are you doing business with the Corporation of American Banks? We need to know, are you doing business with the Corporation of America Banks? That's the only thing that the corporation gives a damn about once you get over here. Now, I'm going to say this for the agents. Good job staying out of the Corporation of American Banks. You guys are the ace boon cones of staying out of that shit.
Which Asians? All the Asians? Southeast Asians?
I had it specified at some point, but I got to save something for my own content. So I will work that out properly at some point between Monday and Thursday, 9 to 5.
Perfect, perfect. So there's only a little bit about this video left, but again, I like that. Like that they don't bother nobody. They ain't forcing their shit on you. And they just like to be left alone. That's cool with me. If they want to be considered warriors because of that earlier, hey, if you warriors of minding your own fucking business, hey, more power to you. Shit.
Right. Like I said, I'm just impressed at how well they are doing in the music industry. That is the part that has me impressed. Other than that,
So let me get,
do you?
uh,
Huh?
let me guess. MIA is sick, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We can venture into a second part maybe one day while we're enjoying the TikTok streets. But I know that they've had a real good run in the music industry, especially movie scores. Especially movie scores.
White supremacist named Wade Michael Page entered a Gurdwara in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, and opened fire on the congregation, killing 6 and injuring several others. The Sikh community responded to this massacre by opening up their doors to the local community, serving all the reporters and officials who came to help in the aftermath of the massacre. The Sikhs who participated in these efforts were drawing from ideas in the Sikh tradition, such as Siva, the practice of love-inspired service, the idea of perpetualism, and humanity.
Although we've only scratched the surface, now that you have an immense type of community world.
I didn't get that last part about why they did that, but I guess that's not for me to know. But at the end of the day, I respect. This is one religion I respect. It's not bothering me.
Right. And I can tell you, besides maybe downtown Atlanta, never met one. Ever.
I've definitely met quite a few, and I'm just not realizing. Well, the one I've already spoken about, I've met quite a few. I just didn't realize that. I just assumed that, they were a different religion, or I didn't realize. But again, this is one thing I have learned. I can identify different jobs now. I do agree with one of the statements that earlier in the stream that it does seem like the way that they pray. It does look similar to a cross between Hinduism and Islam in a way. But again, I think that's just a regional thing. Maybe because it's hot. Maybe that's the reason why they dress very similar to keep the sun off them. I don't fucking know. But the influences are definitely there. Last week's show, I feel, was just a remix of Hinduism. This one is significantly different.
What I noticed was, as I was going through their back history, I did not see any history that included them burning all wives at the funeral services of their husband. I did note that. I noted that. That was it. That was the only thing I made note of. They did not have a religion that burned the wives with the husband when he passed away. Even if there was like 30 years between the husband and the wives, they did not have to burn at the funeral.
It's strange that this religion is as young as it is, because it's only 500, 600 years at most.
By the Gregorian calendar, yes. By the Gregorian calendar, yes. Only 500-600 years old. It's almost like it was written in tangent, specifically for that region, while they was writing the King James Version. It almost seems exactly that way. Like there were several versions being written at the same time as the King James Version, and then whatever was finalized with the King James Version just went traveling back to the area and spread like wildfire the last 500 and some odd years. That's how I picture it in my mind. You are making me jealous. You are making me jealous. I'm hating on you a little bit. I done had technical difficulties, and you relaxing. You know what? You know what? I can't even make you hate. I can't even make you hate. You don't even care if I'm having pineapple soda. You have no care if I'm having pineapple soda. But I'm definitely hating on you. I am.
I don't drink soda or liquor. But my take on that is because one thing that India mostly stands 10 toes on is the fact that they did not take the colonizers' religion. They took everything else, but they didn't take their religion. But to your point, what I think is with this religion, because um, it's so young, and we could prove that they had already invaded at that point. I think that they probably influenced them. You see how they were just showing at the end of the video how after that tragedy happened, how they started serving people and shit. It's no different than turning the other fucking cheek. And so once they fucking seen that shit, they're like, okay, we can just run over these motherfuckers. We're gonna give them this religion. Oh, you can stay this religion because this is the one that don't fight back. Don't bring Islam because we won't fight you. But this one, you can take this one. Make sure you learn English, and let me get some of that gold. So to that point, yes, I can see how that can happen.
And they probably fucked up because they probably did send gold, unlike some nations that only sent maize, MAZE, the corn.
Yeah, true that. True that. So overall, it's just another man-made religion. All religions are man-made. People
Yep.
choose the they want. I could see people wanting to get away from the caste system, especially after the British got there, because from my understanding, it changed. I can see that.
Because the caste system was meant to go by whom you were born to. When the British came, they made it a complexion test. And that's what I'm always going to have a problem with. Any aspects of the religion that still uses the caste, not by where you're born, but by your complexion when you are born, then I'm always going to have a problem and an issue with it.
But you also can see it's not just an English thing, but because that's the language we speak, I'll touch on that. But you can see everywhere where the British have been, there's always an attitude of lighterness, right? The lighter, the better. It's always like everyone strives to be light or white. I don't care what motherfucking country you name. You name it, they have a bleaching fucking problem. The British been there, and there's, as they say, and I hate this word too, melanated people there. That's a bleaching problem. Period. The Caribbean is a bleaching problem. Africa is a bleaching problem. Fucking India is a motherfucking bleaching problem.
The Vatican, a bleaching problem. Roman Greek history, a bleaching problem. They started making everything out of white marble so you didn't have to depict skin color.
Right. But yeah, if you want to do that, that's cool too. Okay, if you want to go with the Spanish, the Italians, wherever they've been, the same Caribbean, the Latin America, that's just the name for it. They bleach the fuck out the skin too. It's always that. It's always the better, the whiter you are, the better. Right? If you just look at these countries, right, that are predominantly black, look at their leaders. They are not a fair representation to what the average citizen looks like. That's it. Barack Obama, that's my guy. He is not a fair representation to what the average black American looks like.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why? Because he's technically, well, by technicality, he's an African American because his dad's African and mom's American. But he's not the same as us. He has similar.
Right. Because he is a grandchild of the Bush dynasty. I don't care what complexion he is. I don't give a fuck where his daddy from. I don't give a fuck where his mama gave birth to him. He is the grandchild legacy of the Bush dynasty. Period. Point blank.
Is his father from Kenya or West Africa?
Don't make me lie. I can look it up for you right now, but don't make me lie.
It's either, I think, if it's Kenya, then he's East African. And if that's the case, then we're completely different. So, I mean, but he's still my guy. I'm just saying, to my point, that's not how it is. You know?
Well, I know that the Bushes was mad at that particular daughter for having anything to do with that Kenyan. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. You can go through the family archive. They was not happy whether he was born on a Hawaiian air base or not. They was not happy. He was not part of the legacy at all. They're glad he stepped up to the plate, but he was not counted in the legacy with a Nigerian daddy at all. Period. Point blank. He had to come to the black community of the Americas, backed by the money of Oprah and the suggestion of Oprah, to get in the White House. Now, the fact that he did such a good cover up job with black Americans, white Americans, Hasik Americans, all Americans, the fact that he did such a bang up job got him 2 terms. Great, wonderful. I'm not mad at it. Actually, I made out like a bandit, especially with my lazy nature, during the whole Obama administration, both of them, all 8 years. I made out like a bandit. So please don't think I am mad at the Obamas at all. I made out like a bandit. I really did.
Yeah, definitely not. I never had health insurance before him, that's for sure. And in turn, I went to rehab with him. Been clean ever since. Right? I had been to the dentist probably 20 years. I had all my wisdom. Oh my God, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Right now. I will say this about Mama's health insurance. It did take care of the wisdom teeth and everything while I was still a teenager. But through Obama, all the damage that I had done with the sugary sweets and everything that I love to my teeth, fixed. Bank account, fabulous. Even better, single. What else happened out under the Obama Bush administration? I didn't have anybody close to me in the military, so I wasn't worried about that. Um, my roommate at the time had fabulous military benefits that we learned to incorporate into the family from that Gulf War thing that one of the Bushes had done. I don't remember if it was the first Bush or the second Bush, but he had great military benefits from that whole fiasco of the Gulf War. Yeah, life was good under Obama for me as a black person. I'm not gonna lie, front or perpetrate, but I'm always gonna remember that Obama's administration was a conclusion of Bush 1 and Bush 2. You might as well call Obama Bush 3. Period. Point blank.
After that, what you got going on the rest of the day?
I'm probably gonna go have some more pineapple soda. I need to drink this water. And other than that, absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing. Because grandson has school in the morning, and I'm the teaching coach, which means I'm stuck there for hours, right along with him, making notes behind him of what I have to reteach after the Krager U video edits teach him information incorrectly. Okay, your turn. What are you going to do for the rest of the day?
Good. And TikTok after I get done, cook on some Persians. be myself.
Well, I will look forward to finding you on these TikTok streets. Maybe you will be in a room or two that I can still follow along. And if not, I'll hear about it next Sunday. Everybody have a good one.
No, I'm gonna start my own live. It's gonna be on my page. So once I start that,
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know
Because
if everybody else got going on.
Right.
So,
You had was it last night? I think it was last night, yesterday. You had a live one. I got so many good ideas. I was just all in my notes. Now, unfortunately, I'm trying to organize them because I got about 29 open pages that need to be organized into one cohesive thought.
I get it. That's how my shit is. And then I be trying to remember it in my mind without writing it down or put it in my computer. And so what happens is I forget the shit and it comes back to me later on and shit. But today, because I've been pissed, that's the thing. When I'm mad as fuck, all that shit just goes the fuck away. It goes completely out the fuck window. I can't think of shit funny. I can't think of nothing creative. That's why I ain't been making shit all day because I've been pissed the fuck off. So I gotta stop. But thank all y'all for stopping by. Thank you, NJ. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, looking at the trees. Thank you, Sankis. It's a whole bunch of people today on Instagram. Thank you, Solomon, for stopping by. What's up, Lucy? What's up, Brian Burton? What's up, Prashana? What's up, Destiny Coincidence? What's up, Michael Gilchrist? Thank all y'all for stopping by. I'm about to cut on the music. Catch me next week. I don't know what the title is going to be, but I'm definitely going to be here. I'm going to try to work on being on time next week. These last 2 weeks I've been hours and hours late. So catch me next weekend. Well, catch me and AJ next weekend around church time. Good night.